Do we have free will? A question that has sparked debate for centuries. Perhaps the reason this question persists is because it can be rationally answered as both yes and no. So maybe the resolution of this debate lies not in choosing a side, but in recognizing the broader context in which both yes and no are equally valid. The first step to seeing this clearly is to ask, what does the word we refer to? This matters because the answer to do we have free will depends entirely on what we are taken to be. Most often, we refers to an individual. That is, do I, as an individual, have free will? If direct experience is used as the reference point, as with any scientific or honest inquiry, the answer is surprisingly self evident. Is there ever actually the experience of being an individual chooser? Not the idea of being an individual, but the direct, lived experience of being a distinct entity that freely chooses independently from the impersonal context of conditioning. Take, for example, deciding to lift your arm. It may seem like proof of free will. I chose to do that. But look more closely at the experience. Did you actually choose the thought that defined the action? Did you choose the conditions that defined that thought? Or did the entire apparent sequence, thought, decision, action, arise seamlessly within a broader impersonal context? In truth, every decision, every action can be inextricably traced to a cause that extends beyond the boundary of any supposed individual. There's never a separate self found at the center of choosing, only the natural, impersonal arising of thoughts, intentions, and actions, which only ever convey a narrative of individuality. So, in this context, the context of individuality, there is no free will, not because there is no freedom, but because there is no separate individual in the first place. But what about the other side of the paradox? Because even though there is no experience of being a chooser, there is still the undeniable sense of freedom. In other words, even though we don't find an individual controlling the show, there is still the unmistakable experience that choice is possible. I can step left or right. I can speak or stay silent. That felt freedom is real and expresses a deeper context where free will is present, just not as the possession of an individual. What this self evident sense of freedom identifies is the way that the unlimited presence of reality freely expresses itself through form. Free will is not about control, it's about the natural, unlimited expression of existence itself, a freedom that is not mine or yours, that does not belong to an individual, a freedom that expresses the essential nature of what it's like to simply be. Ultimately, whether we say yes or no to free will depends on the level of abstraction we're speaking from. However, both answers arise within the same undivided freedom. The yes reveals the free unfolding of reality's infinite potential, and the no reveals that no separate self owns that unfolding. There is only freedom, but it doesn't belong to the individual you or me that seems to claim it. Presence simply is, appearing as everyone and everything, freely expressing the will to be.